great Jacksonville, Florida. I'm B&SUN, and his brother right here, he's running for city council, and I'm gonna let him give his name and what district he's running for.
Nahshon Nicks, candidate for City Council District 7, the big business district. Hashtag you can get it too.
You can get it too. I like that. You can get it too. That's a powerful statement, man. You can get it too. So I did my research on you, and there's so many good things that I could say about you, man. You've been involved in, but the people that don't know, before we even get political, what have you been involved in as far as programs, as far as in the community, as far as working with different organizations? Let them get a good understanding of what you've been about before you even decided to be a candidate.
Well, thank you for asking and thank you for this opportunity. I've been in ministry roughly 16 years as a serving the community. We used to start off on Myrtle and 22nd giving away oatmeal pies and jugs.
Okay.
So we would, pray with folks, play the music, and just trying to put a message of hope out there for individuals. Going to community activities, back to school drives. We've done. We used to actually minister in Durkeeville off of Myrtle and 5th, and we would push for toy giveaways, food giveaways. Real big on community interaction, community engagement. We're in Washington Heights every Sunday. People say, what street are you on? I said, we're in Washington Heights every Sunday. So that means there's one way in, one way out.
Right.
And we're all the way in the back. We minister every Sunday, 10 a.m.
Okay, now I also do know that you, as far as, I see you with the youth a lot, man. You're doing kind of like boxing, karate,
Yes, I'm the owner of Team Nitro MMA, LLC.
Okay.
We're a contractor to Duval County Public Schools. We have about 6 schools that we service, close to 200 children that we work with. And what makes it so interesting is they did it as a pilot first with children with EBD, emotionally behaviorally defiant or disturbed, oppositional and defiant individuals, and just using it to help them self-regulate. Because medicine does not necessarily work. And as they get older, police don't know if they were oppositional defiant, EBD, ADHD. We want to make sure that our children are able to have successful lives, even if they come from dysfunctional environments.
Okay. So with that being said, we're going to get to the get-go, man, because we on a time frame on the show. We on a budget, but we're going to get real about it. We're going to get real about it, man. From your observation, and you living in District 7, in the past, have you been satisfied with the current individuals in that political position that's been serving that area? For the past 2 terms, I would say.
I'm going to say that everybody wants to see improvement, right? And they're not sure exactly, how can I help? How can I contribute? And when you're dealing with, my specialty is housing and urban development, okay? When you're looking at HUD properties, I also do social services in housing, homes, and apartments. Washington Heights, the Metro North area. When you're looking at housing and urban development, there are so many federal dollars that are allocated to these properties to help these people get on their feet, right? We got people that can't wait to get on Section 8, and it becomes permanent housing. Okay, from Hilltop, Moncrief Village. The challenge is that it's supposed to be temporary housing, not permanent housing. And we've turned Section 8 to be Section Great. And if you look at Section 8, it's a military term, which means mentally unfit.
Okay.
So before they came up with post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic slave disorder, what happened was they used the term mentally unfit.
Correct.
And it's asinine to expect people who live in high trauma areas and environments and expect them to just fix themselves. Martin Luther King says it's easy to tell a man to pull himself up by his own bootstraps, but where does he get the boots from?
Okay.
So I worked in education, post-secondary education. God has afforded me an opportunity to do a lot of things at a very young age. At 27, I was campus president.
Okay.
So I got a chance to see things from a corporate perspective, from a budgeting perspective, from a retention perspective, and I graduated from Edwards College here in Jacksonville, the first HBCU in Florida. And a lot of times I would talk to my peers, and they were like, man, you know, EWC ain't nothing but little Pakistan. You know, across the street ain't nothing but Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And if you look at your environment in that perspective, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because our words are powerful. So housing and urban development, looking at underserved and underrepresented communities, and I'm like, man, why is the crime so bad? But yet we want to celebrate the biggest gateway classic, you know what I mean, Reigns and Reebok. We celebrate athletics, we're celebrating activities, we're celebrating entertainment. But our communities are getting worse and worse. And I said to myself, how do we make an immediate impact? All right, we're gonna write the president. Well, our president was black, Lambo was blue. But the thing is that the president does not make an immediate impact in Duval. It does not make an immediate impact on the east side. Okay. It does not make an immediate impact on Hearts.
Okay.
So, all right, well, we're gonna write the governor. The governor doesn't make an immediate impact. All right, well, I'm gonna write the mayor. The mayor, he has to cover his constituents. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. All I'm getting at is that when his constituents, I'm sorry,
Covering constituents. Can you elaborate on to people that's like myself?
All right, great question. All right, right now you are my constituent, regardless of your economic status, regardless of your color of your skin. You are my constituent because you live in my environment.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm here to represent you.
Okay.
All right. Now,
so you telling me you are for the people?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, there's an African proverb that says, "I am because we are, and we are because I am." You can't separate the individual from the people. And then going back.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time for me.
I am because we are, and we are because I am. See, in the European culture, the people are taught to serve the king. All right. In the African culture, the king is taught to serve the people. From a biblical perspective, Jesus says, well, if you're great, put all this greatness to work and go serve the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, but in order to affect your local neighborhood immediately, that's where you get city council. That's where you get proper representation because now you got a point of contact. Listen, we got community reinvestment, we got banks. I was listening to your interview with Mr. Dallo. I think he's running for District 8.
District 8, correct.
And I was listening to him talk about food deserts and economics. If you look at it on Moncrief, you got one bank. When you look at it, Beaver Street, you got one bank. You look at Brentwood, Norwood Golf Fair, no banks. Why? Because if you put a bank in that community, they have to reinvest.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So typically a food desert is right next to a bank desert, which means people are not educated on financial literacy. But yet there's funding that's allocated to those communities, and we want to make sure that we're able to make our communities great.
Gotcha.
And this is how we do it. We make sure that they're literate, they're informed. And I would go try to make appointments with our city council person for District 8. I would go and make appointments with our city council person for District 10, city council person for District 7. I couldn't get in contact with anybody.
Okay.
All right.
So now, because you know the interview time, brother, you giving it. Now, my question is basically, what are your plans? What implementations you want to do? What changes do you want to do when you get into that position?
Thank you for
And
asking.
we can start from bottom to top to bottom.
All right, great. That's exactly what we're going to do.
You can't prepare. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right. What does it say? Chance favors the prepared mind. So therefore, I call this the building blocks for success.
Okay.
All right. Or the formula for success.
Okay.
You build from the ground up. I call it the 4 E's. You start with the environment, education, economics, empowerment. An empowered community is a community that's not dependent on the local government, but the local government can depend on that community. All right? But if you got a destabilized environment, it's asinine or it's counterproductive to expect for people to be stabilized in a destabilized environment.
Gotcha.
So then you look at education. Jacksonville has one of the highest rates for adults without a standardized high school diploma. How are we going to attract big business to our community when we don't have people prepared for those opportunities? All right, and then you're looking at it from building those partnerships, leveraging everything. I want to leverage everything. I want to leverage everything that begins with the letter J. Why? Because it's in District 7. Jacksonville Housing Authority, Jacksonville Electric Authority, Jacksonville Transportation Authority, Jacksport, Jacksonville International Airport.
Okay.
That flies nowhere international. Which goes into economics. I want to circumvent them dollars out of Orlando, and I want people to connect to Haiti. I want them to connect to the Bahamas. I want them to connect to Jamaica. And let's stimulate our own local economy. Let's leverage Jacksport. Let's teach our people about foreign trade. Let's get them informed on commerce. I want to make sure that legislation is supporting these type of growth and strides.
Yes, sir.
If you control the traffic, you control economics. Let's fix these roads. Let's make sure that JTA is able to get our people where they need to be on time and on a regular basis. Because every thriving economy gives credit to local public transportation, which means the end result from the bottom to the top is an empowered community. Hashtag move to improve.
Okay. Now, you gotta excuse this last question, man. Actually, I got about a 5 more, and maybe this question will probably like a 5 and 1. What makes you, in the inside, internally, why do you think you are fit for this position for people to have, like me, to have faith in you? Because from our observation, if you want to elaborate on it, it's been a lot going on in the city with some political things where people are not as comfortable due to the things that's been exposed on the news. Because there's been a lot of issues going on. We're not going to talk about all that, but it's been in the paper and I'm pretty sure everybody is aware. But what makes you, in the inside, confidence, your strength? What do you feel that I can do this? I'm willing to sacrifice myself, and with my passion that I'm feeling now, what makes you one?
Well, when you look at the current city council's admin and the lack of performance and underperformance and the issues that I've been able to discover by talking to the people who actually live in the community, they feel as though they've been neglected. All right? We're not going to over-spiritualize this and over-Christianize this thing. A lot of people use the term transparency. I'm going to use the term engagement, because it's impossible to get a commitment from an individual that you're not connected to. So I want to increase connectivity with our schools, with our moms, our dads, our communities. I want to make sure that everyone knows that, listen, we're in this thing together. Because we are stronger together. And what makes me different is that I've already been doing the work.
Gotcha.
All right. From a street term, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
Okay.
They messed up.
Okay.
They messed up when they let a black man learn how to read.
Yes, sir.
And then they gave me pen and paper.
Yes, sir.
My thing is that this is information that I've been able to discover, but this information is not powerful without mobilization. And I want to affect every aspect of the district, from out east, from downtown, to our homelessness, to our lack of education performance. Principals, what do you need? How can I help? Libraries, what do you need? How can I help? Parents, what do you need? How can I help? Youth, what do you need? And how can I help?
Okay.
I'm Mr. You Can Get It Too.
Man, you can get it, brother. I felt your passion, man, and I know you're serious about it, man. I thank you for coming here so much, man, and giving it to me raw and uncut, man. I look forward towards it. We gonna definitely do this again. And Jacksonville, Florida, I'm gonna let him announce his own self before we discontinue this great episode up here on B&SUN. This brother is running for what district?
District 7.
District, now let's the camera. District 7.
District 7.
And
once again, my name is Nahshon Nicks. If you type in hashtag You Can Get It Too on all social media outlets, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My website is votenicks4Jacks.com. votenicks4Jacks.com. Interact with me, let me know what your concerns are, and once again, please be willing to put your labor or your money where your mouth is.
Okay, now. Okay, brother, man. I appreciate it, brother.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You can get it too.